sweet spot as far as football weather is concerned today in Nashville. Just enough chill in the air for a sweatshirt, light breeze, fall in full swing at Nissan Stadium. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Tennessee Titans. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Nashville. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. Leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Miami.
The #1 overall pick in April's draft. What an unlikely story to get to that spot. A zero-star recruit out of high school, the University of Incarnate Word, to Washington State, to Miami, and he comes into the league as Division I's record holder for most passing touchdowns in a career with 158. The Tennessee franchise now revolves around him and his development.
That's to about the 28, second down coming up.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28. Ward. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Well, you want to make sure that on an opening drive that you at least stay out there for a while and get into the flow of the game. A 3-and-out would have been problematic, but that's a good throw there to ensure they get another set of downs.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing now, Ward. This one caught by Redland. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On fourth down, the former All-Pro Johnny Hecker on to punt for Tennessee. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
And I know that last year in 2024, New York Jets fans were watching him and saying, that's the guy we thought we were going to get. But he found his groove in Minnesota, finishing the top 5 in passing yards and touchdowns last year. Now in Seattle, ready to prove that last season was no fluke.
Faking the give, Darnold. Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Darnold. Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. This one goes underneath to Walker. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 2. Up the middle, here's Walker. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
It's a gain of a yard. That's another Seahawks first down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Now it's Darnold. He'll get this one to Cobb, complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. He gets this into the hands of Kupp once again. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
2 on the play.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down. They gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Walker. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
First down.
I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only Charles in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right?
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't. And a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Darnold now to throw. That's taken in by Arroyo. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. Fourth down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
He was brought down by Kobe Bryant.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They go play action with Ward.
Wide open receiver complete.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
To throw, here's Ward.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Now a 2nd and 10. Pollard will take it up the gut.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here's 3rd and 9. To throw is Ward. Oh, he had him.
He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And they'll start on the ground with Charbonnet. And a short pickup to about the 25.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. A play fake, and it's Darnold. And complete to Smith-Njigba. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Now Darnold. He finds Smith-Njigba. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a 2nd route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Back to throw, Darnold. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. They got to get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. To throw is Darnold. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 34-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
A gain of 13 yards. 1st down, Seattle.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Walker now on 1st and 10. Powers through it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Walker with another carry. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to extend their lead.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wind up punching this one into the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now Ward. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing is Ward. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And it'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Pressure again, and down he goes again. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
17-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. That'll be caught by Cobb. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 45-yard line. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
It's a gain of 20. 1st down, Seahawks.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Off of play action, Darnold. Open man left side, Shaheed has it. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's 2nd down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Smith and Jigba with a grab. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and yeah, I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. And they'll begin by running the option. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
At the 38-yard line.
In motion goes the tight end. On play action, Ward. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is caught. And it's a Titans touchdown. Calvin Ridley, 61 yards. And the Titans are back within a score. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's Calvin Ridley who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense has Sam Darnold headed back out there. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Toss left side for Walker. 72 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he is caught. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
4 yards. And the Seahawks first down.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. They'll get this one to Cup. Complete.
Complete to Cooper Cup. A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time, defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Titans offense and receiver Calvin Ridley getting ready for this next possession. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown And their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Second down, Pollard again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's good for a Titans first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Here's Pollard again. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Ball placed at the 45 for second and 5. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And this is going to be a Titans first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that one. He read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Out of the gun again to Pollard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Oh, no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up fourth down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A shotgun snap for Darnold. That's down the field. He's got Arroyo. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I think we could easily read his mind there. There was just no place to go. Tried to bounce it and get outside on the draw.
Yeah, but the defense wasn't thinking pass. They knew that they were running it.
And I love the way that they covered all the gaps. You know, we can do all the lettering and the numbering and all those things, but those run fits that we talk about all the time, each person fitting in the proper spot on defense, you see the end result when they do that.
The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another 1st down.
Another Seahawks 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the 1st half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Darnold now to throw. Throw out wide to Walker. And outbounds right around the 20. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
From the 20, here's 2nd and 3. Straight ahead, Walker. And he stopped immediately there. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
That's good for a Seahawks 1st down. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. After the run, now Darnold to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker. He scored on the ground and through the air as his guys are able to extend their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. A 10-play drive that time. And it was Kenneth Walker who finished things off with a touchdown catch. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Ward. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Ward. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Throwing now, Ward. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw, here's Ward. Now he's going to step up and run. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
That's another Titans first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's a 2nd and 8. To throw is Ward. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He's got his target. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
In motion, the tight end. Here's Ward. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Sly able to put this one through. And that will do it for this first half. Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Here's Darnold. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. No question that they're going to continue to look his way. 6 catches in the first half and now 7 on the game.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
On the give, it's Walker. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Back to throw, Darnold. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw is Darnold. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, it's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the second half. They can now afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Pollard gets it off the option. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a gain.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Faking the give, Darnold. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
That's good for a Seahawks first down. A gain of 22 yards. And a Seahawks first down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
That'll be caught by Cup. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Titans' 18-yard line.
Here's Darnold running the option left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. In motion comes the tight end left. Darnold from the gun. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown.
Touchdown, Seattle.
Cooper Kupp, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to widen their advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Myers connects on the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Tennessee offense set to go again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Looking to put a drive together. Now Ward. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They toss it down to Pollard. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. Here's Horton. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And they will take over 1st and 10. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now he'll tuck this and run. And Darnold going to slide to the ground here, but not before he does pick up the first down. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's now 3 straight plays of over 15 yards and 3 straight first downs.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to add on to that lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Titans getting set and ready to go here for their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing is Ward. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On 1st and 10, it's Spears. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
And the tight end goes in motion left. On first down, he'll drop to throw. A short throw taken in by Conquo. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. There it is, the defense waking up after 3 plays that hurt them. Finally, they stand up.
They have a little pride, too, you know. 3 straight first down type plays. Yeah, they wanted to make one stick on their side, didn't they?
Working out of the gun here, Ward. Wide open receiver, complete. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Titans get a bit closer. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done, and it'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
Will line up for the two-point conversion.
They'll try to run it here.
The attempt at the two-point conversion is no good. That keeps
Well,
the
partner,
score
since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Joey slide out, a kickoff after the touchdown. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Here's Walker to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
He was brought down at the
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Darnold. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. DK to return. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Throwing to start the drive. Moore. Well, it's into the hands of Iomanner. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Out of bounds at the 33-yard
What I love about watching the
line.
passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
That's complete to DK.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 3.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Ward now working out of the gun. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. Come the offense as they take over. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 131 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Back to Walker on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball,
pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. They'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Now Darnold. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Darnold, he can beat you in a number of ways, and there the scramble for the first.
First down. A gain of 18 on the play. And the Seahawks first down.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Yeah, good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
1st and 10 at the 32.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Darnold down to throw. He'll find Shaheed out to the right. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 28-yard line.
From the gun, it's Walker. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
3rd down and 7.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. They'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Seahawks first down. A gain of 9 yards. First down, Seahawks.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Out of the gun again to Charbonnet. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. Third and long. Now it's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Elijah Arroyo, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to stretch out their lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Now Myers for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
2 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Throwing now, Ward. Cockrell holds it in left side. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. 1st down, and it's Pollard again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
To throw is Ward. And I think the ball's out. A big loss on the play. That's the bad news. A consolation, they keep the football.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
Going for it, here's Ward. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Here's Darnold. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Seahawks, 1st down. A gain of 14. 1st down, Seattle.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Darnold. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he can...
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Cooper Kupp with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks start to open this lead even wider here in the fourth. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game. Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game. The extra point now coming from Myers. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with Cooper Kupp on the receiving end of the touchdown pass. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here. They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Here's Ward. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
The offense on 3rd down, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he will have the 1st down as they get into the ground at the 37.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
He's brought down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Play fake, here's Ward. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. Ward. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. He's got room to roam, but he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run, and it's going to yield a new set of downs.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. To throw is Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. Touchdown! Kenneth Walker. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th.
And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
And the Titans getting set to go. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
And now a fake there on the jet sweep as they'll give to Pollard.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
70 yards on the ground here for Pollard. This is a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Now he'll try to run with this.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Now 2nd and 5. They run straight ahead here with Pollard.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Here's Pollard again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Boye Mafe got through the line like a knife through butter. He buries him for a loss.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
To throw, here's Ward.
Now defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They absolutely had to take some chances downfield trailing here in the 4th quarter.
So why not go 4 verticals, send the guys downfield, say make a play.
And that's one of the favored routes of offensive coordinators. You know why? Because receivers can be open at any point running that route.
Now Ward. Here's a screen now for Pollard.
Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
In motion right is Ridley. Throwing is Ward.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've had success getting the ball to him out of the backfield, but this time they had a man right on him. He was able to break that play up before he could get started.
Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. They'll throw again, Ward. He'll try and do this, and he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Cam Ward,
A 5-yard touchdown run.
and the Titans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
He's tackled at the 29-yard
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Darnold. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
Seahawks, 1st down. A gain of 15. 1st down, Seahawks.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that's the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Here's Walker. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Now Myers for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
62.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Jason Myers.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Well, the home team's offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Out of the gun to give to Pollard. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's good.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
He completes it to Ridley. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
That's another Titans.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.